recruiting tips, advice, and better ways to train. B3 Better presents The Amateur's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
Good morning, and welcome to The Amateur's Edge. We are glad to have our main man back. Jay, glad to have you back, man.
Hey, I'm happy to be back, man. I missed you guys a lot, man.
You said we?
Come on, Randy.
Oh, come on, Randy.
Sorry, Randy was the first one to hug me when I came.
Right. Oh, happy
I saw a little tear in your eye and everything, Randy. Stop it.
I don't hug trash, bro. I take out the trash. You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible.
You know what I'm saying? I take out the trash, bro. Can y'all ask me how I'm doing, bro?
How are you doing?
Welcome back. I'm doing good, bro. I'm feeling the opposite of Dylan Brooks. So however Dylan Brooks is feeling right now, I'm feeling the opposite.
But hey, Dylan did that to himself, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's trash talking part of the game, though.
Trash is a part of the game, definitely.
Yeah. You got to back it up, though.
We'll take it. Listen, today, guys, we have an amazing show lined up. We really do. We have that's going to be in our second segment, so make sure you stick around. We have D. Webb, an absolute legend from Jacksonville guy.
Yes,
just a major dude that had an amazing career. Had a little tumultuous season there, but we got a good end. Got a good ending to it.
Definitely.
So.
I mean, we talking about a guy who was coming out of high school, the number 2 rated corner in the country.
Mm-hmm.
5-star athlete, All-American, All-SEC at the University of Florida. Was fortunate enough to get drafted by his hometown Jacksonville Jaguars. But has a very interesting story, but one of redemption as well. And again, one of those stories where we want to take you through there, right? We want you to see the highs and the lows and how you bounce back. And again, we always say that here, sports is a metaphor of life, and it's going to be an important lesson. So D's going to be on with us in the second segment.
Yeah, can you imagine playing in your hometown? That's crazy.
It's kind of like a gift and a curse, though, right?
Yes.
Everybody hitting you up.
Yes.
Everybody want tickets. Everybody want to come over.
And
it can be a huge distraction.
The same people who knocked on the door when you maybe didn't have it, they knock on the door when they think you do have it. You know what I'm saying? Even more probably.
And how you balance that out, though, huh? Because you still got to show love, because they were with you when you were shooting in the gym, right?
Yeah, but growth, you got to shake some leaves off with growth, man. You can't go nowhere with the same weight, man. I don't know how to express that. But you can't keep moving and going further and being a better person, being around the same people. Some people you're gonna have to shake off if they're not doing the right thing.
For sure. And we'll get into that a little bit more when D gets on the show. And changing lanes a little bit. What you guys think about the draft? How you feel about it so far? We know Parrish got drafted number 6.
Yeah, Parrish
that was huge. That was huge. I loved his interview after he got drafted, and the boy looked like he ready to go to work.
He just gonna do some big things. I've been knowing his family for a while, since I've been in Ohio State. I congratulate his mom, and father-in-law, stepfather or whatever yesterday, and he's just a great person. He's gonna do great things on and off the field.
On and off the field. Yeah. Definitely. And I love the Jazz pick so far. That we needed that offensive tackle. I like that tight end from Penn State. I think they're moving in the right direction, especially getting that tight end with, having Ingram on a 1-year contract and not really knowing what direction we're going to go in with him. I think the Jags moving in a positive direction, too.
They did, man. One of the biggest things I want to say is parents, man. If your kid can play DB and Pop Warner or whatever, just look how many DBs went off the board in these first 3 rounds, man. A lot of parents want to play quarterback. They want to play wide receiver, running back. Running backs are dime a dozen. Wide receivers becoming a dime a dozen.
Running backs are dime a dozen.
I'm telling you, cornerback is the way to go. If you can get it early and get those skills early, man, don't let that coach. Of course, it's about the team and about winning, but get some training in cornerback.
But speaking of running backs, it's funny. I'm a Falcons fan too. And that draft pick they have, the running back out of Texas, was a little questionable for me, especially when you look at where the NFL is going. You'll find a diamond in the rough, 3rd, 4th, 5th round at running back. To me, if you're going to draft a running back that high, they need to be a generational talent.
Definitely.
So
unless they see something we ain't see.
Unless they see something we ain't see. But I was talking to a guy who played college football at a high level, and he told me he felt like that running back had some Christian McCaffrey type characteristics. So meaning not just playing out of the backfield, but you can line them up at slide and all those other different positions. So if that's the case, then I think we can ride with that.
But this is a crapshoot. I'm telling you, it's a
crapshoot.
It is. I'm telling you, you can have somebody who's the best person on every level and get to the NFL and not be a bust. Or not even a bust, just not successful at what they're doing.
It is. And when they draft you, it's off potential. That's what they're
potential.
looking at.
And the thing that a lot of people don't see is hard work ethic, because everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
So before getting to the NFL, or what, maybe not because you got NFL, it changes a little bit. NIL changes a little bit too. But you get drafted, but you're making money now. So it's hard to get up every day when you got the bag and work the same.
You know, it's funny though. Again, being a Georgia fan, that was the thing that concerned me about Jalen Carter, right? Like, here it is, the biggest interview of your life, and you show up out of shape. Like that's hard. However, he was going through a lot with the car crash and his teammate dying, and they trying to pin the charges on him, and so like you give him, I guess, a little bit of grace as it pertains to where he was mentally, if that was the case. You know, hopefully the young man's moved on from that situation and is at a better place mentally. I mean, he's with the Eagles with a bunch of his other teammates. People are calling them the Philadelphia Bulldogs now because their whole defense is going to be from Georgia. So hopefully, you know, he's at a place mentally where he's able to move on and you know, reach his full potential.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I was talking to somebody about them actually separating chaplains from therapists. I think they're two different things. And I think like every college and NFL need therapists on site. Just mental stuff. Because they go through so much and they put under so much pressure these days because of social media. And I think they need to really do that if they haven't been doing it.
Agreed. Switching gears a little bit, talking about those NBA playoffs. How you feel about them Lakers and Grizzlies yesterday?
Man, Grizz didn't show up.
They didn't show up at all.
They didn't show up. They put all that energy into that last game and thought they was going to bring it back. It just don't work like that.
It don't. And Dylan Brooks, man, I love him.
How long was he on the bench? I thought he was on the bench for the whole second half. He was on the bench for the whole second half. And the thing about it, you got to be careful. You calling out a number
LeBron.
two. Yeah, a number 2 GOAT. I mean, you calling out a GOAT, man. You call out somebody else,
Hey,
man.
the coach, you know, the coach said, if you don't sit your behind.
You call out a GOAT,
How your
man.
mama used to do it.
Yeah, and then you just putting fuel to the fire.
That's all he did. He put fuel on the fire, man.
Yeah,
and got embarrassed.
And it's not he talked like a Rodman or Ben Wallace, whatever. But them boys bring it to the table. They actually play defense.
No, Dylan, like he plays defense. He's a competitor. I like
that
little edge to him.
You like the edge?
I like that the trash talk, the bravado. You know, even how he come in the game, he might come in there with nothing but a vest, no shirt on, ripped up jeans. Let's go, baby, like a biker ready.
I got you, man.
Go.
I got you. But you got to me. You got to prove it on the court.
No, you do.
And then, like I said, you got to check that dude the whole game.
Yeah.
Because the way you was talking about him, you need to be checking him the whole game and locking him up.
Yeah, for sure. But I love LeBron's response to it. He kept it professional. He said, we're not going to get into any of that clown stuff. And just went out there and did his thing and didn't try to do too much. He played within himself. So that was a great playoff game.
It was. It's the playoffs all around.
It has been. It has been a great offseason.
And stop listening to analysts because everybody thought that the Bucks were going to make it to the championship.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler on a whole nother planet right now.
Yeah, he's the best player in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been on a whole nother planet, and no one expected that. No one expected that. So we'll see. And that Kings and Warriors going to Game 7 tomorrow, baby.
It's tomorrow, not today.
They played last night. They played last night. The Kings won in Golden State, so now they're going back to Sacramento. The young boys, it might be time to pass that torch on.
That's gonna be
It might be time to pass it on.
That's gonna be crazy.
You know, being a Lakers fan, I think I prefer to see the Kings over the Warriors.
I think if AD played the way he need to play, it doesn't
matter. You're right, but that's
the
the big
play
if.
defense.
That's the big if.
Yeah.
That's the big if.
Yeah,
switching gears one time before we go. I was watching an interview with Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson, and they were talking about how much more money they're making in college basketball from NIL than the WNBA girls are. And that just totally blew my mind. And they were on there talking trash, saying WNBA needs to step their game up and all that. And this is going to be a very interesting paradox. You know, if you have collegiate athletes making more money than they can as a professional.
But that makes sense, though, because you have more fan base.
No, for sure.
So that makes sense. You have more fan base, so that's more money.
Yeah.
Like, you got more fans of girls' college basketball than you do of WNBA. But the WNBA needs to change the image up a little bit.
Yeah, and the thing is, this might actually be a positive for college.
Yeah.
You know, with athletes leaving early and too soon, if this is going to encourage them to stay a little bit longer, I think
This would be the one sport where they will.
This would be great. This would be great. So, good deal.
Well, this is some good stuff. Make sure you guys stick around for the second segment where we will have D Webb on with us. This segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financing goals. Head on over to www.boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rolling.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
When you're hankering for a great barbecue meal, then head for your closest Woody's Barbecue. GPS us or ask Siri or Alexa. It's easy to find a Woody's Barbecue.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do.
Let's eat.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Hello? When you hear another great interview on 1010XL, it's on the Farrah and Farrah phone line.
I did not know that.
Brought to you by the accident attorneys at Farrah and Farrah
I want my lawyer. I'm not saying a word till I get a lawyer.
on 1010XL.
Now's the time to start your home improvement projects. Kevin here with Armor Guard Exteriors and Gutter Helmet. Our local suppliers are stocked up and ready to deliver your home improvement projects, like gutters, gutter helmet, retractable awnings, and screens, window replacements, and glass lanai. Call now and get 18 months no interest and no down payment. Call now, 904-906-8669.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Look, warmer weather now means mosquito, flea, and tick season is here. These pests are out for blood, but you don't have to let them win. Protect your home and family with Kingfish Pest Control. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their products are safe for kids and pets. Plus, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can relax knowing your yard is pest-free. Call today, mention the Jags to receive 10% off your initial service. That's Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And good morning, and we are back. You know, we're just having a good conversation, just kind of chopping it up about the playoffs and the draft, all this good stuff going on in sports right now. It's this is great content for us to chop up,
definitely.
man.
And it's a fun time, man. And you know, you hear the talking back about the NFL draft, and you hear all the potential guys out there who should have went first, second, third, and it's crazy because a lot of times these guys get drafted by teams not even really knowing that the teams are interested in them. So you get these conversations all the time with these athletes who tell you they're getting picked up by teams and that they never even talk to. you know, so
yeah, that's what happens mostly.
Yeah, and so it's funny too. Like, so for me,
I mean, is that a real thing?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, my son got picked up with a team he really didn't talk to. The teams that we thought he was going to be picked by, he never got picked. Hey, before y'all say something, let's have some callers in too. 904.
Yep.
641-1010. Call in if y'all want to talk about anything about sports. Let's get in.
Yeah, let's open it up.
904-641-1010. Call in.
Definitely. So just going down the draft list, I saw. For me, I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be the number 1 draft pick, especially after I saw how he performed at against Georgia. You look at his height, his ability to be able to move. I didn't know he can run like that either. I absolutely did not know he can run like that. But he ended up going number 2 to the Texans, and then they turned around and got Will Anderson Jr. as the 3rd overall pick. I think the Texans making some huge moves. Huge moves.
But what's going on with the Texans coaching situation? Lovey's gone, right?
Yeah, after 1 year
they fired him after 1 year. That's crazy. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they'll just keep working through it though, and I think that in situations like that, when you have young talented guys, because you're looking at 2 potential franchise players on both sides of the ball. You're looking at the quarterback, and then Will Anderson as an edge, like he has Von Miller type ability. So that's gonna be huge for those guys, and suck for us Jags.
Yeah.
It's gonna be horrible for us. So
you're saying the division's getting stronger?
Oh, without a doubt. I think all 3 teams have rookie quarterbacks, so there's some building that's gonna be going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you look at the Colts situation and Anthony Richards going number 4, I think he's put in a great situation because I don't think he's gonna have to go in and start.
Mm-hmm.
With Gardner Minshew being there, I think he can take a year or 2 to really sit and learn and how to be a professional. And I know there's a lot of talk about him and his mechanics and his ability to make every throw. So his athletic attributes are off the charts, right? It's just, the skill set as a quarterback is what he needs to continue to work on. So, we're rooting for him and hoping he continues to work and hone those skills as well. So that's going to be huge. That kid, Devin Witherspoon, is an absolute animal at corner being drafted by the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. I was Devon Matthews, one of our guys from Indiana who did an interview a couple of weeks back, was talking to us about him. And when he got drafted, the very first highlight I saw was of Devon Witherspoon smacking the mess out of one of Devon Matthews' teammates in the game against Indiana. I mean, this dude came 10 yards in, blitzing, and bam! I mean, laid the smack down on the receiver. So it was.
We got a lot of kids
huge.
from Jacksonville that play for Illinois, so that's a good sign. I think they had a couple corners drafted early.
No, for sure. Illinois definitely recruits this area very, very heavily. So that was huge. And then our man Paris Johnson going number 6, man. Again, that was huge to see the excitement from him, and his interview, like I said, was phenomenal. So just watching that interview and seeing how he was excited and ready to get started, I think he might be the best player in the draft. If you ask me, he just might be.
Could be. I was a little bit upset with New England pick, but you know how that is, man. But let me give y'all a draft. That's terrible, man. That's terrible. We already got a whole bunch of corners up there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at Team Wade. I ain't looking at New England, man. But anyway, I definitely didn't like that pick, man. But like I said again, man, just having so many corners go off the board and all these big name colleges. But then you see some small colleges in here too. You know, you got Maryland, Kansas State building itself, man. You know how people say that you have to go to the biggest colleges that go first round, second round, all that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Now that you can go anywhere, man, they'll find you.
No, that's definitely true. And I think it's been like that for quite a while, though. You know, for as long as I can remember, small school guys and even guys from HBCUs have been getting drafted into the NFL and had positive impact. So for round 4, though, you know, I'm wondering what the Jags moves are. What you think? What you think back there, Rob? What you think we're gonna be able to do with them?
You know, first and foremost, I'm surprised we haven't addressed the cornerback situation yet. The Dolphins got that guy from South Carolina that I really, really wanted and snagged him just a couple picks beforehand. I'm blanking on his name, and he's going to be a stud. I love Brenton Strange. Being a Penn State fan, I'm super excited. He's exactly what Doug Peterson's looking for, a blocker with great hands, good route running. I watched him all throughout his collegiate season. I know a lot of people are kind of poo-pooing him, but, you know, this is SEC country, and they don't know anything other than SEC, so they don't know. Brenton Strange is going to be a really good tight end for the Jags.
Nah, I like that pick a lot. He's strong. He can block well. Again, that's just another tackle to protect Trevor at the end of the day.
And that's what it looks like the Jags are doing early on. I mean, even Tank Bigsby,
Mm-hmm.
Etienne's not the best blocker. They call him Tank for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and it, again, the number one pick, not the number one, the first round pick with the O-lineman was a must. Then Brenton Strange at tight end, we need it. We don't know what we're going to do with Ingram, like you guys were saying. And then, then we get a running back who looks like he's going to be a bruiser. Again, I'm very interested to see what we do with these 3 picks in the 4th round. It's time to beef up the defense. What are you guys thinking?
No, I definitely think we need to address that corner position. I see Keelan Ringo is still available.
Yeah, we were talking about him. What's your take on Ringo? You were kind of telling me earlier.
So being a Georgia fan, I love his size. I love his athleticism. But there were quite a few times where he'll get burnt for some big plays. And I think from a technical perspective, if he can really hone in on his technique, he has all the tools in the world to be an all-world corner. And, the thing for guys like him that people don't understand is if you get drafted this late, you're only locked into like a 2-year contract. So you go in, you do your thing those first 2 years, you're going to be able to negotiate before those guys in the first round because they're locked in for 4 to 5 years. So there's an advantage to get drafted a little bit later.
It's 3. It's 3 years, but yeah.
It's 3 years?
It's 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So after the first round, it's 3 and 4. So the first round has got 4 years locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you go back. It's 3. Like at the 3rd year, you can negotiate. You can get money earlier. Everybody try to get in the league to get to that second contract.
That's exactly what they're trying to do. Yeah. And like I said, the later you are, the better it is for you because you have the opportunity to be able to negotiate that at that point.
Yeah, you do, man. So this Hooker dude from Texas, man, they were saying like he was
Tennessee.
They were saying like he was the best like under the radar pick out there.
Oh, 100%. I honestly felt like behind Stroud and Young, he was the third best quarterback. But he's coming off ACL injury.
And that's what it is.
They hate those injuries, and I mean, we know for a fact he's not gonna play this year.
Mm-hmm.
A possibility to play next year, but that 3rd year I think is gonna be that year for him, and it's gonna be perfect timing again, being drafted that late. If I go in and I play good these first 2 this season right here, which would be contract year for me, that 3rd year, it should work out for him. And I like it. And I don't have a problem. And people forget, like, old school. When quarterbacks used to get drafted, they were allowed to sit 2 or 3 years before you throw them in the fire. Nowadays, if you're going in the first round, you better be ready to play. If you're not playing this year, you better be ready to go this second year. And I don't like that because quarterback, to me, is the hardest position of all the sports. In all the sports to play. When you talk about how much you have to process in a short period of time, you got big guys like Von Miller running 4-4 coming at you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a whole lot going on that you have to process so fast. I mean, less than a second. And to be able to do that and control a team and all the things that go into being like a leader in general, is in my opinion, it's definitely the hardest.
CJ and Bryce, I wish both could sit. I wish both could sit. Like, when you just really watch them play, like, they made a lot of mistakes and big moments. Don't get me wrong, they had some tough schedules or whatever, but that's just college. It's not the NFL. So if they can sit under somebody, it would be a whole lot better for both.
You know what I really like? Not to cut you guys off, but Hooker's teammate in Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, yeah, the receiver.
Giants that fell to the 3rd round. I almost kind of was holding my breath. I'm like, man, if he falls to us in the 3rd round, we got to take him. I mean, I get it. We have the receivers that we have. We got Ridley coming in. This guy's an absolute stud. And the Giants, I think, just got their wide receiver 1 in the 3rd round of this draft.
They definitely did. That guy was the real deal. I think he's like around 6'4" or so, and runs like a 4.4. He's an animal.
Oh, change it up a little bit. What do you think about old boy getting his money, man, from the Ravens?
Oh, Lamar?
Yeah.
Oh, it was due. I think.
Highest paid ever, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah. And it was due, and it was deserved. Again, in my opinion, he's the best player in football. Not necessarily the best quarterback, but the best player.
Most exciting player?
I mean, when you look at what he can do with his arm and what he can do with his feet, I mean, I don't see anybody doing it like him.
Ever? Michael Vick was better?
No, I ain't say ever. I said the best player. I'm saying the best player in football right now.
Okay.
Not ever.
All right, we got to revisit that, man. So we got a caller. We got Paul on the phone. Where you calling in from, Paul?
Hey guys, I'm calling from the South Side.
Okay, for sure.
Okay, Paul. How's it going today, man?
Man, it's going good. It's going good. I'm pretty happy with what the Jags have done.
Definitely. So what you like about the pick so far?
Well, I think from what I've seen of that tank from Auburn, dude's a playmaker, right? I mean, he's a guy that they can use in a lot of different ways, and running back that's a tough position to keep healthy. So anytime you can give Trevor a weapon and some options, I think it's awesome.
Definitely. Again, when you look at the situation with Ingram as well, just putting those players around Trevor that he can consistently have over the years, I think is going to be huge, because not real sure how much of a long-term impact Ingram's going to have. Because if he has another good year this year, you best believe he's going to ask for a lot of money. A lot.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We're here in Florida, and I'm old enough. I'm in my early 40s. It seemed like for a long time, Florida State, and Miami, they ran the draft, and man, where are they at? What has happened?
The tides have shifted, man. It looks like it's Alabama and Georgia nowadays. That's all it looks like.
Hold on.
Definitely Alabama and Georgia.
Ohio State, buddy. Ohio State. What Ohio State do?
Ohio State has done well.
Yeah, we got at least 4 drafted already. I don't know how many.
No, I saw it. Well, there's a picture the other day. From the last 2 years, every player on Georgia's defense has gotten drafted. That started from every position.
I don't believe it.
No, I'll show you.
What did you read it out of a comic book? What did you read it? You know how people just read stuff and just put stuff out there, man.
Every position, corner, nickel, receiver.
That's fake news, man.
All right, man. Well,
that's fake news.
To put it in perspective of what's going on, the state of Iowa has 5 guys drafted. I think the state of Florida has 2.
When you saying this, you meaning like college state, like these players went to college in Florida, but are they from Florida? That's what you're saying?
That's a good question. Maybe a lot of that Florida talent is leaving.
Oh yes. Yes, the Florida talent is leaving for a lot of reasons. The inconsistencies in the coaching in all our Florida teams, and you just more of a value piece when you take your Florida talent to another place. Like, because it's not Florida talent, Texas talent, California talent is just really, really rare. So when you go to a place that doesn't have it, you can be a starter. So like somebody was telling me, was talking to me about like going to Florida State and cementing your legacy there. And you got all these past superstars, NFL superstars that went to Florida State. Imagine going to a place like Virginia or I don't know, TCU back in the day or whatever, and cementing yourself. You'll be a super legend. So a lot of kids want to go be that first talent to bring that college to the next level,
which is understandable and commendable.
Yeah,
definitely.
What you say now?
I got one more thought. Now I'll take it off the air. I am not a Miami fan, but I am rooting for Will Mallory to get drafted.
Yes.
I think he's a local kid.
We love Will. Will actually trained with us when he was in high school, so we definitely rooting for Will.
Yeah, Providence kid. Yep. Great kid, great family. We know him.
Definitely.
Good shout out.
He should definitely come off the board though before around that 5th or 6th round, I would think. He had a decent career.
He did good. And he has the size, speed, all that kind of stuff.
All of it. For sure. But thanks for calling in, my man.
Thanks for taking my call.
No problem. Take care.
Have a good one. Yeah, Lamar, man. I thought you was about to say Lamar was better than Michael Vick. But that's not what you're thinking.
No, I'm saying the best player in football right now.
Right now. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and again, he has a lot to clean up on too, right? I think, but guys like him open the doors for guys like Anthony Richardson. Can't necessarily make every throw, but can do enough with their feet to extend plays and make some extra things happen, and can hit them home runs.
But the only issue is you never had a running quarterback, a run first quarterback.
To win.
No,
you haven't.
You haven't. I don't think.
At some point,
it's easier to lock down when the games get tighter. I could be wrong though.
It's easier to lock down a running quarterback.
When in the playoffs, it's more easy to lock down somebody who's gonna run than somebody who's gonna pass first and just run to extend the play.
I don't know, man, because if you respect the run and you get a linebacker to have to come down and help, that frees up that tight end, or you got to bring in a nickel that frees up that slot receiver. So it can go either way.
But extending plays are better than running. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I don't know in the playoffs will he do that.
Yeah.
I think he will run first for more than extending play.
No, I can see that. I can definitely see
And that's
that.
why I think the problem is this.
Cool.
Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and pay a couple of bills real quick. This segment was brought to you by First Coast Cargo. First Coast Cargo leads the freight, transportation, and logistics service market and is known as the region's most dependable and highly professional service provider. Contact First Coast Cargo toll free today at 844-731-2137 for all your professional shipping needs. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Denny Thompson. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gators podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey, it's Carline here, and let's talk of getting rid of pain with QC Kinetics. Get lasting relief from joint pain without surgery or drugs. QC Kinetics has clinics in Ponte Vedra and in Mandarin on San Jose. Call 904-274-5522. They've taken it to a whole new level with new medical director, Dr. Peter Atch, a renowned triple board certified doctor with decades of experience. Look, if you're tired of living with pain in your back, hips, shoulders, knees, don't let anyone tell you surgery is your only option. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Call 904-274-5522. Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can get you real relief. Don't go under the knife. Don't deal with downtime. QC Kinetics takes the healing properties from your own body, concentrates them, and puts them into your affected joint to repair and restore the damaged tissue. QC Kinetics, call 904-274-5522.
It's time to play Fix That Plumbing Problem. What do you do if you have a clogged drain? Contestant 1?
Use a different drain?
No, that doesn't really fix the problem. Contestant 2? That's right. Just call the duck.
Don't let plumbing problems linger. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. Commercial, residential, any plumbing issue or project.
When you're stuck, call the duck. 904-862-6769.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito is back at Taco Bell. And in case you didn't know, it's stacked. Yeah, packed inside it is a double serving of premium grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer. Then on top of that, it has a layer of grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. Yeah, the outside. Why? Probably because it refuses to be caged in by the confines of its tortilla walls. Or maybe just to add more cheesy flavor.
Double steak grilled cheese burrito. Get one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Double steak claim is compared to steak quesadilla. Contact store for hours of participation which vary.
You heard their names called on draft day. Find out who they are. Listen for 1010XL Draft Profiles. Brought to you by Travel Camp RV Sales and Service and Perfect Rack Billiards in Murray Hill. Follow the off-season with 1010XL and Tire Outlet.
First Coast Cargo is one of the region's leading asset-based logistics and transportation providers. First Coast Cargo has the area's largest fleet, provides final mile services in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia for Fortune 500 companies such as Amazon, Walmart, and Lowe's, as well as specialized or white glove services for FedEx, UPS, and other national logistics companies. First Coast Cargo, headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, with its extensive experience and dedication to exceeding customer expectations, provides transportation, warehousing, logistics, and 3PL services to customers nationwide. Manufacturers, distributors, and purchasing agents know they can depend and rely on First Coast Cargo to be at their side 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit First Coast Cargo at firstcoastcargo.com or call with your transportation or logistics needs at 328-5700.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're just having a good conversation here in the studio because we were supposed to have D Webb on. I don't He was supposed to call in. I don't know what happened.
I think he might be taking a nap or something.
You think he got arrested?
No.
No, we ain't gonna wish that on the man.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, something happened. I mean,
yeah, something could have happened, bro.
Something could have happened.
It's a draft Saturday. You never know, man.
You never know. So we just rolling with the punches.
Definitely.
Callers with the lines are wide open. 641-1010. Call in. We just having random sports conversations today.
Yeah. Random sports, man. I really want to talk about this Brittany Griner situation and what she said in the news the other day. She said she will not play overseas again unless it's with the national team, and I wouldn't either. If I was in jail, and
that wasn't jail. That was prison. Like she was in a dungeon.
I hear you, but I mean, if I was over there, even though it was her fault.
I was about to say, do you think she was wrongfully?
It was her fault.
Okay.
But my biggest point is that Americans take their privileges lightly. Like the things that happen overseas, because I was in the military, and the softness of America right now and the state that we're in is crazy. It's kind of a sports thing, but not a sports thing. But I think Brittany understands, like, she has it made over here in America. Her freedom's her right, and I think that's one thing I want everybody to contemplate on in this great draft Saturday weekend.
So, I still don't understand why. So, who is she blaming for this though? Right? Like, why is she saying she doesn't want to go back over there?
Well, it doesn't say that, but it's just I need to read down on it a little bit more. Maybe we can get Rob to help us out. But she's just pretty much saying that she don't want to play overseas, even though they make more money overseas, and WNBA players don't make that much money in the WNBA. She's not gonna take that chance because she don't want anything to happen.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you follow the rules, I don't think anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true. We do look at things crazy in life.
It's I guess you be a responsible adult and make the right decisions, and you'll be fine.
I got you, but
it wasn't like she was just they just picked her to make fun of her and lock her up in jail. She had drugs on her.
She did have drugs on her, but would the average person have gotten the same punishment?
Yeah, dude, you gotta. But here's the thing that bothered me about the whole situation. There's Americans that are wrongfully imprisoned over there and have been over there longer than she has that are still in prison.
You got a point.
So she actually got preferential treatment.
Definitely.
I wish her the best though. I hope she continues to be successful in her career or what have you.
I think so.
Let that be that. So, just speaking of women's basketball, we were talking a little bit about Flage and Angel Reese and how much more money they're making in college basketball versus going to the WNBA. And, for me, it's like, what does the WNBA need to do in order to be able to pay those women a little bit more? Because right now they're losing money. Most people don't know that right now the NBA is subsidizing the WNBA.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
They really are. So it's one of those things where, and it's not a bad deal for the NBA, right? Because they make trillions, billions, and billions of dollars. So it's a tax write-off for them. So there's no poor NBA or anything like that. It's like, how do you make it make sense for those young women to even want to go play in the WNBA if they're making so much more money in college?
I say, I know they're doing a lot of stuff in the community, but can continue to do a lot of stuff in the community. It's getting more exciting. Like a couple weeks ago, we seen that girl dunk. I don't think she was in high school. I don't think. But we seen that girl dunk. So it's getting more athletic. But continue to do stuff out in the community. And then let these girls argue, not fight. Well, yeah, you know what? Let these girls talk a little trash. So we can get into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we get to a little bit more, and that's the thing. I just think the image is not good. Some people want to do like Andre Lees and stuff like that, but I don't want that. I want them to respect them for their talent. But kind of just just beef it up a little bit.
Beef it up just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We can go in so many directions with that, but we just gonna keep it straight.
Definitely. Because I guess the question for me, especially being someone, I love basketball. I consider myself to be a basketball purist, and when I watch women's basketball, they're way more fundamentally sound than boys, right? And I like I said, I thoroughly enjoy watching women's basketball. I guess the entertaining piece or the missing piece is the athleticism that you see
a little bit,
and that's what glues people's eyes to men's basketball more so than anything, right? The dunks and all the extra stuff that they can do from an athletic perspective.
Okay, what about
so I don't know how you close that gap.
Like, we know.
That's true.
We don't know the stories either.
And again, that's a great point because for me, like for instance, for Flau'jae Johnson, her father actually used to come perform at my college in Georgia Southern before he got killed. So there's a little value in that to me, like knowing who her father was, and when he was coming up as a rapper, he would come to my school and performed, and we used to listen to his music and all that, and you know, I didn't know them per se. I actually used to play against her cousin, who was a phenomenal basketball player, but he ended up getting killed in the streets as well. So it's a connection there for me, right? Just being in that environment, you know, having her father come down and perform and all that. So knowing her story, like I'm a huge fan of Flau'jae Johnson, a huge fan. So I think you got a point there.
That and just using social media. So like on Twitter, like Ohio State, Alabama, they all have icons that come out to say stuff when things go on. And so like I never seen the WNBA icon come up and say something. So like it has to have a personality. You don't know what I'm talking about, but like if you go on Twitter, like I don't know, product. So not Coke or anything like that, but like Ohio State, Alabama, Atlanta Falcons, they all have pages. But they don't just speak about what they got going on. They speak about what's going on Twitter and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Like I've never seen a WNBA tag or whatever speak about different things. I have to show you.
Gotcha.
It's pretty cool, man.
Gotcha.
Cool. So
yeah,
you know, it's just not out there enough.
It's not. And they've done different things to grow the game. I think it's just trying to figure out what's that next level to get more engagement and to get the marketing and advertising dollars that they need. And I think, like you said, I think a lot of it is going to have to go back to being able to everybody tell their story, build a fan base, and you know, let it grow from there.
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely.
You guys own the WNBA. What's the first thing you do to rebrand the WNBA?
Me personally, I separate from the NBA.
So what do you do?
I separate. I change the logo to something totally different.
But they can't separate from them. Again,
no, that's
the NBA.
not what I mean. I mean put it on a totally different time period in the year. You know what I'm saying? It's like totally like separated. Make the colors different. Make everything different.
But how they gonna survive though? Because they need the NBA money.
I don't still take the money from them. Yeah, like yes, you can still pimp me.
Disassociate myself.
But bring my brand over to the side and just let it exist on its own.
Why do you think that matters? Like, what would that change? I guess is the question there.
Because you want something fresh, something new. You want a person to want to look at it for a certain reason. Like you want to when you have something, you want it to be separate, like by itself. So I would separate myself and make my brand different, and I would put some kind of marketing strategy in there to make people want to come see it.
I mean, this might be a controversial opinion, but I might lower the goal 2 inches so they can start dunking on each other.
Dang, that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
I think
kind of like that.
I think that's really why we look at the NBA. Like we looking for the spectacular play, right? Like, cause during the season, like the NBA, I mean, for lack of better words, is trash. Like they don't play any defense.
Yeah.
You dribble the ball like 20 times before you shoot it. You can have like 3 people on you. You still shooting the ball. It's like the whole fundamental part of it. But you look at it for the highlights. You look at it to see these guys do reverse dunks and all the spectacular things that they can do. And so how do you bring that excitement to the women's game? Is you need to have just about every other one of them being able to dunk. If you ask me, because the skill part is there. The skill part is without a doubt is there. It's the flair that we need. We need a little bit more flair in the game.
Man, that's crazy, man. That's probably the smartest thing you said like in your lifetime.
Hey, man,
you
haven't been listening.
I think the globalization of the WNBA, it's so vastly different than it is in the NBA. In the NBA, we see players from all sorts of countries.
For sure.
And the WNBA, I feel like if they tap into that a little more and again make it more of a global game, like look what Shohei Ohtani, just to get off what we're talking about here. Look what Shohei Ohtani has done for baseball.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Shohei Ohtani. He's like the new Michael Jordan.
He is.
Everybody knows that.
But he's an anomaly, though, man. How many people
he
come
is,
in and can pitch and hit?
There's got to be somebody in the WNBA that can do that.
Yeah.
That can come in and go, who is this? You know?
And that was the point I made when we first had that whole issue between Angel and what's the girl from Iowa name? Caitlin. Like, that's the same energy that was brought to the NBA when Magic and Bird came. And maybe you do create, like, this type of friction. And maybe it does
rivalry of
some type of rivalry or what have you that brings a whole lot more attention to the game.
Of course.
Like I think that rivalry right there, I think they need to schedule each other next year. I think Iowa and LSU definitely
Like first game of the year.
first game of the year,
it
just set it off.
Must see pay-per-view
Must
TV.
see.
Yeah.
Must see.
Definitely. So I think in situations like that, if you create more situations like that within the game, I think that definitely brings a whole lot more
Creating narratives.
Create narratives. 'Cause my
Yeah,
mom was
exactly.
asking me about. My mom don't even watch sports, and she was like, "So what do you think about the Caitlyn and Angel thing?" So if you create those types of stories and those types of situations, I think it'll do wonders for the game.
So
Hey, we might not need to give them too many ideas. They might need to pay us. For
yeah,
this.
and they have they have a year. They have a year to do it. You know what I'm saying?
They do.
You make one of them Godzilla, the other one King Kong, and then the girl from what Kentucky?
Kentucky.
The female you said was hurt.
Oh, the girl from Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Paige.
Yeah. You make her another monster. You push that for the NBA for the draft.
No, for sure.
See, that's where I was going to go with that, and I don't know where they're getting drafted, but man, if these girls go 1-2, 1-2-3, I mean, that creates a narrative too. How many times do we see in the NBA draft? I mean, I'm thinking Zion Williamson off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, and R.J. Barrett. 2 dudes from Duke, and then Ja Morant, who exploded and became the superstar. That's what the WNBA needs. It needs headlines, and it's not happening. It hasn't been happening in my opinion, since day one.
No, for day one, it hasn't. It hasn't. You know, so I think it can be done. I think, just talking through it out loud, that if they really put in the effort to create these situations, and again, they probably have to just go and create it. Just
Here's an idea for you.
Turn it to the WWF.
Yeah, they have talked about, like in the NBA with Steph Curry being such a great three-point shooter. What if the WNBA comes out with the 5-point line? They've been talking about this in the NBA. What if the NBA is to step out of what you're talking about with separating themselves from the NBA? What if you do something drastically different like that? Wouldn't people be reading that? Wouldn't ESPN and all these talking head shows be like, oh, is this a good thing? Is the NBA going to do this next?
Yeah.
It's just an idea. I mean, you're talking about rebranding. It creates some sort of chaos for everybody to pay attention to it.
Outside the box.
And then we're all talking about it instantaneously.
How did it work for the Jacksonville Giants? Because they had all that crazy stuff. Did a lot of people go to the games in Jacksonville?
Well, I mean, that's ABA basketball, so when they first started, they had a good fan fit.
I thought it was.
Well, look at the Jacksonville Sharks, a 50-yard,
Yeah.
yard. I mean, 50-yard, it's ridiculous, but
Now,
it worked.
It works
to an extent.
To an extent. And it's simply because it was an entertaining atmosphere.
But that's what the WNBA needs to become, is entertainment.
But I wouldn't watch that on TV, though. Like, being in the atmosphere is fun and it's electric. But on TV, I'm not going to sit there and watch it. So that's the issue that you have with it.
So what would take you, Jerrian, to get you to sit in a seat at a WNBA game?
Again, I probably want to see a little bit more action from a physical standpoint. Again, I want to see a woman dunking on another woman.
You want to see some like late 80s NBA basketball is what you want to see. Bill Laimbeer, everybody.
A little bit of physicalness wouldn't be
bad. Little elbow from time to
For
time.
Me, I'm telling you, I follow people. I don't even like teams anymore.
Yeah.
So since I know I follow people.
That's
the personalities.
Yeah. No. You're probably like 80% of America. Like, there's no more teams, right? Like,
there's no loyalty anymore.
There's no loyalty at all. Like, for me, I'm a diehard Laker fan. Just always been that way from the beginning. And then now, and I used to always talk trash to my friends who are LeBron fans. Now we all on the same. It don't even feel right. Like, don't talk to me. Like, you're just a fair weather friend right now. Because once LeBron's gone, you gone. You're not gonna be here with me.
Yeah. You got those Lakers fans from back in the day, but I just follow. I watch
80% of America.
Grayson. I watch Grayson at Memphis.
Yeah, I love Grayson. Yep.
I watch. My son. I follow kids. I don't follow teams no more because I just feel like teams are not faithful to the players. So I just really follow actual players.
No. So and like I said, you're 80% of America. Like, I talk to friends and people all the time who they just follow the players, not necessarily the team. So just going back to that point, if you build up that story,
yes, let's get to know them.
You get to know them, then you start following that player. You go to the games and all that good stuff, and so it changes the dynamics of everything.
Yeah, and everything will have to be negative. That's why I hate the draft too a little bit because like they always give these stories of negative things that happen, but it's a lot of positive things that you can back on, for whether you're doing a WNBA at a draft or stuff like that. But they always want to say this person didn't have a dad, this person missing a finger, and all that kind of stuff. I hate those dramatic stories. We got some good stuff we can talk about too.
No, we
that
definitely do.
That people will follow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, people will follow.
So when it comes down to that, just finding those athletes who have the charisma and who have like a good story to tell.
Caitlin, man.
Yeah.
Caitlin, man. I just like her swag. Like if I had I hate to say it, a son or a daughter, like I mean even though I'm older, I would want them to have her swag and her the way she carries herself, her emotions. I like it.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
Very big.
Very big. Definitely. So.
Man, it's been good. It's been good. It's been good sitting up it's been good sitting up here talking to you guys today.
We had to do a little improv. Just a little bit, but we pulled it together.
We made it happen. But listen, let's go ahead and pay some bills and get on out of here. This segment was brought to you by Bank of England Mortgage Jacksonville, helping home buyers and homeowners accomplish their financing goals. Head on over to www.boejax.com and get to know their dedicated team. You've been listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010 XL 92.5 FM. See you next week.
We out.
Start your